Hey, good evening and welcome everybody. It's Weekend Update on the Shills. Tonight we're looking at our own personal tale of PayPal fraud. Yeah, we got scammed for a couple $100 and PayPal so far hasn't lifted a goddamn finger to do anything. A couple other agencies have, but we'll get into it for sure. We're going to take a look at the current situation on EVs because there's a lot of pluses and some minuses and stuff. Plus, we've got our Idiot of the Week. Yes, we've got somebody who's literally targeting children with flat Earth content, and that's going to be a huge thing to discuss. But first, we've got Charlie Wells, DKG Custom, Lokifish Marz, M2M, and I do believe DKG is going to start us off with a little scrumptious something.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff been happening in the news this week. My favorite story is the German Leopard tanks being sent to Ukraine, which is, I find, brilliant in two ways, because obviously Ukraine get great support, but it's also the first time in decades Europe was happy to see German tanks rolling across the borders.
I mean, it's not just Leopards as well, because America is sending Abrams as well.
Challenges from the UK.
Yeah. Challenges from the UK.
They are getting tanked up.
Yeah. Don't forget, like everybody's like excited because they go, "Oh yeah, you're going to get delivered, and that's it. We're going to see them on the battlefield straight away." No, it don't work like that, because there's different issues they need to deal with, and that's one first and foremost is training.
Oh, yeah, training. Commander McMillan was talking about that with the Abrams. I mean, they're not a quick end-all solution. It's going to take quite a few man-hours, like months of training. You don't just jump in those things and go.
Yeah, the military expert I was listening to, I mean, he says in NATO terms, it takes 6 months to train a crew to be, good at what they do, right? But at a pinch, they could do it in 3 months. But it's going to take at least 3 months to train them. But then you got the issue of compatibility of ammunition, right? You can't because it's not cross-platform with all the obviously the old Soviet tanks and things that they've got as well, weapons.
No, and that's one of the things that keeps coming up is some of the more local people that have Soviet era weapons. If we could just give them some cash to get those weapons into Ukraine's hands, they're usable faster now.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So there's that to deal with. Then, of course, there's maintenance, right? You got to train not only crews to do the maintenance, but you need backup crews, maintenance people to actually know how the tanks work and how they maintain. And, of course, all the spares related to that as well. So you've got a lot of issues that you need to kind of deal with. You can't just deliver a tank and say, off you go. It don't work like that. There's a lot to deal with. So,
it does seem the Russians are doing it that way, hence they've lost so many, but that may be another story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the different variations of kind of old Soviet, I mean, they're all sort of relatively much the same in terms of how they operate. So, you get people that from old Soviet era stuff, even with the more modern Soviet material and stuff like that Russia might have, they'll be still fairly familiar with how it operates. So it wouldn't take long for a crew to pick up how it works, But this is all different stuff. I mean, Leopard operates very differently from a Challenger. Challenger operates very differently from an M1 Abrams. So that it's not an easy thing having different types of weapon systems operating. It's better to have like a standardization, and hopefully Ukraine after the war over a period of time, they hopefully might sort of start standardizing their equipment and have everybody the same, standardizing their uniform and things like that. That'd be good to see, I think. But it's still good news. But don't expect the tanks to be rolling around Ukraine anytime soon. Probably not until after the summer. I'm guessing. That's my guess, but I don't know.
No, spring. I reckon. I reckon they're going to try and get it ready for spring because there's not much movement going on at the minute because everyone's bogged down in the winter. So even the Russians. So there's not much going on. I reckon they'll try to push it forward for spring.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they might. It just depends on how they want to see the crews get trained, I guess.
Yeah, the better the better, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It might be quicker to take some American volunteers in air quotes and teach them Ukrainian.
Yeah,
Right.
But training's huge, because something like an Abrams, you don't want to put an inexperienced crew out and then go, well, damn, that tank didn't last long. I mean, seriously, it just wouldn't even be worth it. It has to be done right.
Yeah. So
Plus,
we'll
they'll
see.
ride with
You
a
can do it.
highly trained mechanic, and that's the most important part.
Yeah, because I mean, tanks do break down a lot.
Yeah.
They're a lot, not they don't just keep rolling around for years and years and years without any maintenance. No, they break down a lot, and if they get hit by something, well, yeah, that goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even just by small arms fire, you're probably going to need some maintenance, because there's still bits and pieces around a modern tank, with sensors and optics and all that kind of thing can get damaged just by small arms fire, or a grenade thrown at it or something like that, or.
Totally.
But the power pack and the engines and things like that, they break down quite a bit, even with modern tanks nowadays. So yeah, it's going to need a lot. They're going to need a lot of people to be able to maintain it, not just the crews themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ugly German Truth there pointing out that, you need experience in commanders and whatnot to actually use the units as well. That's another thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've got to work out the other thing as well. As I was sort of thinking about, they've got within a tank crew, communication is key, right? So because each guy's got to know what the other one's doing and when they've done it, and there's certain things that you need to have done in order to justify the main weapon. So obviously, there's going to be a translation. Is like, well, okay, you've got all these crews that are used to working sort of like with Soviet era equipment. So the communication, what they might say, is going to be completely different. So what they're going to need to do is work out at the start what they're going to say, and then they're going to have to transpose that, what they've worked out with those crews, to the next set of batch of training people or training crews that this is what you say when you do this and that and the other. You know what I mean? So that's all got to be worked out as well,
Yeah.
So it's none of it's going to be easy,
Yeah. Very much so. There was one I wanted to bring up here. I actually have it on. I can bring it up on screen. But U.S. Senator Josh Hawley wants to ban TikTok nationwide. This kind of stuff is gaining more traction in the United States. The whole it's Chinese controlled, get rid of it. I think it stems from the fact that whole mentality worked when it came to Huawei, are they, and the 5G cell towers they ripped out of North America.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is that it's all conspiracy stuff? Is it Chinese and whatever?
I think so.
I couldn't give a toss either way, personally.
Is this kid a senator?
No shit.
Is he 12? Was he 12?
Jesus
We're
Christ.
talking America. Fucking anything's possible. Anything.
I thought senators all had to be within about 5 or 6 years of the end of their lives. Like, they usually seem to be ancient.
I think that's one of the reasons why he wants to get rid of TikTok, because I think he's got some embarrassing videos or something out there on his account. He wants it. He wants to get rid of it, so hide it, bury it.
Yeah.
See, TikTok, yes, it is Chinese. It's Chinese government fucking platform, and yes, there is harvesting of data and all kinds of shit, and there's a lot of shit that goes out to the kids to try to influence them in certain ways, but all that proves people are fucking stupid. That's all it proves.
But look at this. Look at this guy. This is the kind of guy who still thinks a hot dog is an acceptable lunch. Like, look at him.
I had a fucking hot dog today for lunch, asshole. I'm not even kidding.
Oh dear me! Cornerstone of the American breakfast, right? American lunch.
Yeah.
But here's the thing as well. Is like, I mean, why just pick on TikTok? I mean, like, the internet's been going for a while now. They honestly think that TikTok's the only thing where there could be influencing people. I mean, holy shit! I mean, look at.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it's not owned by the Chinese or some other, perceived enemy. Like,
yeah,
QAnon was like the biggest enemy of the American democracy. That wasn't on TikTok.
No, but I mean, that's the thing. All these things like political parties and all kinds of influence groups have all started because of the internet in general. You get rid of TikTok, do you think it's going to end? Of course it's fucking not. That's what I'm saying. It's not just TikTok. It's bloody everything. Everybody thinking, pointing at TikTok, it's TikTok's fault because we've got all these things and all these influences. Bullshit.
I mean, Facebook is knee deep in that stuff, but this guy doesn't care because he still has to tell his grandmother good night or whatever, but I use that one, so it's okay.
I don't give a toss either way. Get rid of TikTok. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah, here's what Matt's going out for. Hashtag ban the internet.
Ban the internet, yeah.
Hashtag get this guy a roast. Seriously. Look at this guy. I mean,
he hasn't even shaved yet.
That's what I was thinking, early on.
I can't believe he's a fucking senator. Done.
Has his balls dropped yet? I mean,
for Christmas, he got his first manscape. And he hasn't
dear me.
Just before this photo was taken, his mother found his first set of wet, moist underwear. More news to follow.
What's the betting when he's not senator anymore? He goes on TikTok and he starts dancing on TikTok in his underwear. What's the betting?
Yeah. This guy puts the chip in Chippendales, man.
What do you mean his underwear? It's probably his sister's underwear.
Probably, yeah. Oh, that'd be controversial.
You just glazed over thinking about it for a moment there, didn't you?
Oh, too funny.
Well, he's an attractive man. Let's face it.
Oh. Hey, what else has been happening this week? Something else has been happening this week. It seems like top secret documents are handed out to fucking everybody these days. What's going on in America? Everybody's got top secret documents. Dick, have you got any top secret documents you don't know about?
I do, but I can't tell you about them.
I mean, you are in a bit of a cash flow problem at the minute, so maybe we should auction a few more tonight.
Yeah. Actually, I'm putting them up on Fleabay coming up, but yeah. Yeah, I'm calling it the Biden Papers. What was left out?
And so, anybody in the chat, if you have got any top secret documents lying around you, please super chat the top secret documents you've got and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Pictures of ghosts.
Yeah, we're going to make a repository for top secret documents, and we won't show anybody. We promise.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's got bloody top secret documents, and they're the first people to actually see them. But I mean, holy shit! I mean, like the governments around the world must be doing a really bad job because they must be just giving out left, right, and center.
I must admit, I do actually find it quite funny. I mean, this whole, Mar-a-Lago seize and raid and finding all these documents, and then Biden's got some. What? Biden's got some. This other guy's got some. Everybody's got them.
Would somebody please inform the Oval Office that this is not like reading? It's not like it's a personal library. Would you please stop doing this? Jesus Christ.
I'd sign him out or something.
I've literally got top secret documents. I literally have on my hard drive right now. I mean, they're not top secret anymore. I didn't say when they were top secret, but they are, or they were, at least. But JFK, because some of the files that have been released about JFK assassination. Yeah, I was having a look through some of them. I've got some. Yeah.
What happened? What happened to?
No, you must know. I mean, the US. Well, all about, because don't forget there was the Warren's report into how.
Never mind all that. What happened to JFK?
I don't bloody know, because there's thousands of documents. Lawyers means nothing to me.
It's news to me. This poor guy, he's doing really, really well. I haven't seen much of him recently, but
I mean, the conspiracy is it was a coup d'etat, wasn't it? A coup. That's why he was assassinated. And that's why they had the Warren's report.
Yeah.
What?
And,
he was assassinated.
Well, these guys have like Ugly German Truths alludes to in the chat. Have these guys never watched like cartoons and old spy films and stuff? This message will self-destruct in. Like, how do you get caught red-handed like this all the time, people? And-
they should write the top secret documents in invisible ink. You know, that disappearing ink sort of thing. That after
Yeah.
30 days it just like disappears.
It comes from the same people that say that the NSA are after me because I've been doing flat Earth YouTube videos. You know.
Oh dear God.
It's like, oh, Christ. It's almost like, well, why you've been saying this for the last few years? Why are you still alive? You know, it's like, yeah, okay, dude. Yeah. Calm down.
Yeah. So
All they got to do is
Interesting.
cancel their social security checks and fuck them up.
yeah, I'm hiding. They can't find me, but I cash my check every month.
Yeah, and make YouTube videos of my house where I live.
Yeah,
And put my address on all my social media. Yeah, the NSA are after me. They're looking out for me. They're trying to find me.
Somebody's watching me. So DK?
Tiny Captain says JFK's YouTube channel got closed down after his last review of a cabrio car. Oh dear. Yeah.
Now you can't call too early on that one. You know, come on.
Sure.
So what's next there, DK? Should we tell the story of PayPal and get that out of the way? There'll probably be some yelling and screaming and stuff, you know.
If you wanted to, I mean, I was going to just mention one other person in the news.
Go for it then. I'll take a few more deep breaths and make sure I drop the gain on my mic before starting this.
Yeah, but we'll come back to them later. Go on, tell us the story of woe.
Oh, whoa. We're going into the woe now, are we? Okay. Let me woe myself.
It's the woe moment.
All right.
Woe moment, yeah.
Wow.
Go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, DK, give us the last one, and then we'll go into this.
Bang, bang. Oh, yeah. Has anybody heard of a guy called George Santos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The incredible man of the hour, does everything. Mr. George Santos, what was he? Member of Congress, isn't that right? Somebody help me out there.
He's another one of those fucking idiots.
He just lies about everything. He's just been I apparently there's all these videos of him dressed up doing drag queen act. He just did like one weekend for fun, but his gay boyfriend has come out and told the full story about it. God knows what the fuck is going on in American politics. Even American politicians are starting to fucking laugh at him. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I hear he did apply to change his name to Lola.
That was not the first time he's changed his name. Oh, what an incredible dude. He's just great at everything, apparently, on his CV.
American politics, the seat of democracy.
I know.
He's not Trump's long lost son, is he? Because Trump is always saying how great he is at stuff, even the stuff he's really shit at. You know. So
what? Sex?
Well, everything. Just everything.
Yeah, I don't even think he's got the the wherewithal, as it were, to force out a little childbearing little seed.
I could do it if I tried. I'm possibly the best ever.
Look,
I've got words. I've got all great words. I'm great.
I'm sorry.
Words.
Look at the face on that guy in the suit there. I mean, probably same, overlaid, but you know what I mean? That's the kind of guy who masturbates with padded tweezers. Come on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's going to need the old Sherlock Holmes fucking monocle coming up.
Doesn't Trump hate Santos? I honestly don't know. I don't. I'm so confused about American politics. I just laugh at it, really, mostly.
I think
laugh at them all now.
I think most people hate Santos at the minute because it's very, very popular to hate him. But not surprising because he's a fuckwit, absolute fuckwit.
Oh, well, I've been too prejudiced. I also laugh at British politics as well, because that can be freaking hilarious at times.
I mean, you got. Well,
God, yes.
I remember, like, okay, just quick, and then we'll get back to topic. But I remember seeing Boris Johnson when he was the mayor of London on Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson interviewing him, right? And I was like, oh, that guy's funny, man. How did he get to be mayor? And then one day I'm like, he was elected prime minister. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's like having the local drunk bloke at the bar at the pub that's really funny and tells jokes and stuff. Yeah, get him to do it, man. You know, like Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It was like literally like 2 years before that. If anybody actually mentioned that he could be a prospective prime minister, it'd be laughing in your face, and then you'd be like, "What the fuck happened?"
I know.
You know?
But anyway, let's not get too deep into it. So,
no.
So we'll quickly tell the story of the PayPal fraud.
Oh, the woe.
Yeah.
Let me pre-woe myself. Right, okay, I'm woed. Let's go.
Now, I did tag PayPal's YouTube channel on this, and I tagged them on Twitter too, and for the shout out and whatnot. So, this is what happened. 8 days ago, on the PayPal account, 2 $100 gift certificates to hotels.com were purchased. Now, I, in my music days, traveled a lot, but since being diagnosed with fibromyalgia and having an autistic son that I homeschool and mostly raise on my own, I don't go a lot of places, right? So when I logged into PayPal on the 20th and noticed, I was like, well, that's odd. So I reported it to them right away, and they did a review, and they came back with the statement that it's in line with the regular usage of the account.
What?
Now, yeah. So this account, this is the Shills PayPal account, but it is linked to a bank account of myself. It receives donations. And it sends money out to a few different charity things based on Ukraine. And it also sends some money out to a few of the Shills. And it sends a little bit to myself to pay for the Google account and so on and so forth. That's how it's distributed each month. And it's very clear that there's the only few purchases ever on it were myself buying like Voice Meter Potato, the big virtual mixer I use for shit and so on. And so saying that hotels.com gift certificates were considered within normal usage of the account was already stupid. So I did a second appeal. And I typed more stuff into the chat, you know, come on, you've got to look at it, like look through my history properly. There's no way this is normal. And it came back again as no, you know, as we see it, everything's fine. So case closed. And by this time, I'd already contacted my bank to get these charges reversed. Now, the bank has fixed it and is reversing the charges. But in doing so, I had to cancel my cards, which means that all my preset online payment arrangements and stuff are now null and void, and I have to do them all over again. I had to remove I had to remove the accounts from PayPal. I reported it to the Canadian RCMP police as well. And then I got back to PayPal after that 12 hours of action. And I said, look, you know, it's been reported to the police. The bank is reversing the charges and so on. And, you know, so thanks for nothing. And their response back to me was, oh, hold on, sir. We've got an account specialist. They're going to call you at the number that's listed on your account. I was like, really? After all that, now you're finally interested? Wow. Isn't that interesting? Thank you so much for your support, PayPal. Fuck you.
Oh, wow. So they are.
I really want to see it's like the camera outside of PayPal's offices to see like two Royal Mounted Police, you know, pull up in
two Mounties turning up.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that's it exactly. As soon as you mentioned like the police and the bank are reversing the charges, it's like, you know, now after 2 appeals and they're saying, yeah, it stands. Yeah, come on, PayPal. Get a grip.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Come on. When When you look through the transaction history of this PayPal account, what you see is donation in marked for Ukraine, donation in marked to help Dick Dawson get his stolen guitar replaced, and a few things like that. And then you
Hookers
see,
and blow
donations.
Hookers and blow donations.
So what was the fraudulent transaction for again? What was it?
It was two $100 gift cards to hotels.com. What does somebody what does somebody with fibromyalgia stuck at home raising and homeschooling his child who doesn't travel? We don't do things like that because it doesn't suit my son very well either. What would I want with those? And then PayPal even told me, well, look in your email because it was the gift cards were sent to your on file email. So I searched and searched and searched. That the silly shill show at gmail.com email has never deleted a message. I don't delete messages. I mean, the storage is free. Why would I? And there's nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, putting that aside, I mean, how on earth do they think that sounds like a normal transaction from your previous ones?
I know. It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense at all. So how the hell do they come to that conclusion? Not once, but twice. Well, actually, technically 3 times. Because you think, okay, well, yeah, that looks normal. We're past that. Then your 2 appeals. Oh, no, that's normal. That's normal. What the hell?
Yeah. My bank, had that been done through my bank, not PayPal, would have instantly flagged it because it makes no sense to anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's the same with me because my bank, I've had a little bit of a fraud attempt on my bank. So now it's like almost every transaction, I have to go through one of those verification things now for almost every transaction, anything over about 10 quid. It's a pain in the butt, but actually I prefer that kind of level of protection. At least I know it's being protected. So yeah, so anything unusual, they flag it straight away, even if it does get through. Yeah. So yeah. Real Cygnus in the chat says Google alternatives. Well, that's where I was going to close out this little rant and get to a bit of chatter on the topic before we get to the idiot of the week. But does anybody out there in YouTube land, our viewers here in the live chat, does anybody else use a service that is like PayPal, but it's an alternative that we could use instead, or at least look into? Because at this point, when it comes to fraudulent behavior and their response to it, I have zero faith in PayPal right now. No way. None. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if there's even like a review system for like these different payment services or not. Was there such a system? I'm sure there is.
Probably, but
yeah. And what you need to do is then, if you look at trouble is you're going to have to look through the fine print to compare at least to kind of like what PayPal actually offer and the level of insurance you're supposed to have compared to whatever you're switching to. You know, you got to be careful of that, I guess. You know, I don't know.
NANA says Zelly, Zelle, or Z if you live somewhere I don't, but Zelle.
Zeddy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Zelly. So yeah, I'll check that out. It's bank to bank. Hey, MJ says as well. So that's 2 votes right away for the same service.
Yeah, I've heard of it for some time now.
No, I never heard of it.
Okay. I'm putting that in the document here because I'm keeping some notes on this as well.
I don't know if Venmo is a personal thing or how that works, but a lot of people do that too.
I get confused because there's Vimo video and Venmo that has to do with money. Sell. Okay, pronounced like sell. Okay, thanks, MJ.
Yeah, there are loads of merchant companies that work bank to bank. So yeah, I'm sure there's probably tons.
Oh, Venmo is PayPal. Okay, yep. Never mind. Then moving right along. Yeah.
What the hell? Venmo is PayPal? What the hell?
They probably bought them out. You know, if you can't beat them, buy them. I hate that mentality.
I think Cash App is a more personal thing.
Yeah. So, our Ko-Fi account, buy them a coffee, give them a tip thing. We're going to have to fix that because it went to PayPal and so on. And holy Lord, thunder and Jesus,
So when are you supposed to be getting this phone call from PayPal then?
Well, I told them, I even told them in the message, I said, don't get a hold of me between 4 and 6 p.m. Pacific. because I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, and guess what? You're one of the topics.
Oh, no, you should live stream the conversation.
Yeah.
Live stream it. See what happens. That'd be quite good entertainment.
What?
Maybe. What?
Yeah, you
what?
might need to get on that, Dick.
Okay. I just got a message I have to look at, but yeah. Oh no, DK. Okay, yeah. I remember that. I remember that as well. But the whole blocked thing, it couldn't have, I can't go into what I think happened because, to be honest, I kind of think I have a pretty good theory, and that's just not for public discussion.
Yeah, I just thought I'd message you that as opposed to
Yeah.
bring it after you in the conversation, so you could just
Yeah.
quietly go, "Oh, hang on a minute."
Yeah, I do remember that popping up on my phone as well. And it was 5 days before. But so, when it comes to these online people like PayPal, you link your bank account to them. You link your cards to them. I totally believe that we all, as customers of them, deserve the kind of treatment in fraud situations that our banks would give us because they're linked to it and have direct access to it. And personally, I find this level of customer service in a fraud situation 100% unacceptable. Absolutely not.
I think somebody in the chat pointed out earlier on, though, is that especially with these review processes, that how much human beings actually involved in it. We have the same problem with YouTube, right? It's a lot of the decisions are being made by a bot, and it makes me wonder whether those 2 reviews, whether they were actually reviewed by a human being.
I don't think they were. I don't think they were. I think somebody just got an alert from the computer and said, nope, everything's fine. Because if you look at it, it's ridiculous. But speaking of YouTube, just to veer off topic for a second, we do have time before Idiot of the Week. YouTube has just announced that we will finally, as YouTube creators, get timestamps for the moments when YouTube says you broke community guidelines and so on. We are finally going to get alerted because, everybody watching, when we get demonetized because, language or whatever, YouTube won't tell us where in the video it happened so we can learn from it. They just fucking block you. That's it. And when you get a community guidelines strike for misinformation, they won't tell you where in the video it is. So you're literally like, for us, we do a 2-hour live stream pretty much, right? And if we tackle like medical topics with misinformation to debunk it, how are we supposed to know where in the video the transgression supposedly was to argue the situation properly? We're going in blind. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been complaining about it for years, haven't we?
Content creators have been screaming for years about it, and
eventually,
they got to it finally.
Yeah, at long last. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's almost like when you're at high school or school or whatever it is. It's a bit like your teacher saying, "Right, get out of the class. You've been very naughty." Oh, when? What did I say? I'm not telling you. Go away. What? How are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to not do things if you don't know what you haven't done?
Go away and think about what you've done. What did I do?
Yeah.
Just go away and think about it.
Not going to tell you what it is. Just go away and think about it. Yeah.
I'm going to have to since you won't tell me.
Yeah, and the whole time, the bots were giving people a timestamp to look at and go, oh, that's not good, and triggering the block. So how can it be not? How could it? Why did it take so long to give us that timestamp? Because you already had it, right?
Yeah.
You already had it.
Yeah, but
why?
You can just tell us. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and I remember I was watching a YouTube video. Somebody complaining about that very same thing, and this poor person actually lost their YouTube account twice because they kept getting multiple community strikes against them, but they didn't know what it was for. And it took a little while to figure out what it was, and it's something quite minor and innocuous, really. So yeah, now that they actually managed to figure out what it was by process of elimination. Well, I remember I said this and I didn't say this in this stream, but it must have been this.
Yeah.
And that, but they lost 2 accounts in the process of doing it.
Yeah,
that's just crazy stuff.
Tony Regime points out in the chat, most times it's probably misinformation in the video you're debunking.
Right.
I agree. But that's why we don't show the videos full screen. We show them like zoomed in or whatever to show that it's not our content. It's what we're tearing apart. And since we have a history of 3+ years of debunking, when do we get the benefit of the doubt? When? Anyway, so it's one of those things. Keep watch on your PayPal, people. I mean, really, because if you have it linked to your account and you go back and look, you could have like a mysterious $5 charge and then a $20 charge that you didn't really notice, but it was just somebody fishing to see if they could get like the big whale, maybe. You never know. I mean, right now I'm very concerned, and I'm going to be going back through my PayPal history because, you never know, right?
Yeah. I better do the same.
I usually, because mine's linked to my bank account. I don't keep a balance on my PayPal account, really. If I do, I transfer that straight over. So what I'm saying is it appears on my bank account as a PayPal payment. And then 9 times out of 10, I'll look back on my PayPal statement to see what it was. Right. Particularly if I don't know what it was.
Here's a nightmare situation for me. I send money from this PayPal to different shills in different countries. A couple people that weren't shills just because I knew they needed a couple of bucks or whatever. I mean, I'm not here to float my own horn or whatever, and say blah, blah. But, what happens is PayPal lists what I sent in their money, but my bank account shows the payment in my money. So I can't even make them make sense when I just look at it in a spreadsheet or whatever. You know what I mean? They make everything so difficult. Why? Just show me what I sent in my money, you damn assholes. What the fuck?
Seems like a really easy solution would be like within the app itself. If there was just a one button unlink bank account, and then when you do business with somebody and that you're going to get some money or you need to send some money, you link it again and bam.
No, but the linking takes like 3 days because they do 2 tiny deposits into your account of 4 cents, right?
I remember that.
Yeah, it's not fast.
But what Charlie's talking about is like a momentary deactivation. That would be really good.
I think it's a pain in the butt relinking, though, isn't it? You've got to go through the whole process.
No. If you did it their way, but there's no reason why you can't just have like a little button that just says switch off my my bank for this moment in time, and I'll switch it back on instantly when I need it.
Even finer grain DKG would be give me an email alert to let me know that money is about to come out of my bank account so I can authorize it.
Yeah.
Well, NANA has got no problem. Says I only use PayPal for YouTube and cam girls. Dirty boy.
Yeah, Tiny Captain, that's what I might do coming up. Tiny Captain says, this is why I connected my PayPal to a virtual debit card. And then that way, you have to do a withdrawal of the virtual debit card to your bank. Now, you lose an extra % or whatever the fee is, but that layer of protection means anytime PayPal tries to fraudulently charge you, they're charging a virtual prepaid credit card that has no money. And as such, they can't hit you. That might be where I go because PayPal is so fucking intricately entwined in this whole social media endeavor that the shills are doing. It's really hard to do this without PayPal. That's the problem here.
When you say virtual debit card, do you mean one that you actually have to prepay? You top it up?
Yeah. Like I can go to any number of 5 different prepaid loans and check cashing places in Canada and get a prepaid Visa, right?
Yeah. I was thinking of actually getting that.
That's a good idea. That's a damn good idea, Tiny Captain.
I mean, but to me, what it's kind of like, well, why do you need to have to do that? Because I mean, that's the whole point of PayPal anyway. to be able to do that kind of thing. It's kind of like a virtual payment system. You know, it's a merchant system. You shouldn't need to do that.
Be convenient and safe, and one of those things isn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, you should need that. You should have that layer of safety to begin with. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
you know, that's what PayPal was for to begin with. That's, you know.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to that whole thing where they said it was in line with regular usage of the account. And that is just bullshit, because when you look at the history, a gift card to PayPal, a gift card to anything stands out because it's the first time it's ever been fucking done. Right? Come on.
You've never bought gift cards through the use of PayPal account before, kind of like must say something, surely.
Probably never even bought a gift card before, let alone
never.
For a hotel.
That's what I'm saying.
The PayPal account has only ever been used to purchase maybe 12 things, and the rest of the time it receives donations and it sends money and a little bit back to me to pay some bills and stuff. That's what it's used for. To say that any kind of random purchase was inline usage was a joke.
By the way, Dick, I noticed that you haven't paid the down payments on my Ferrari for a couple of months. So just a little reminder.
Yeah. I'm too busy paying for the one I don't have.
You got that blackmail money I gave you, didn't you, DKG? You got, that's right.
Yeah, but I've still got the negatives.
Oh, damn it. You said you're going to destroy me, liar.
I lied.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. You're not chatting shit now. Listen,
monkey.
Right? Listen, I tell you what, like, I don't know if this is just like a thing in our country that is that is a future thing, or whether it's going to be a global thing, but or you know, a pizza shaped thing if you're an idiot. But this doing away with hard cash. So, like the other day, someone came in and they paid me for the haircut in cash, and they gave me this slip of paper, and they said, "Today I came by your business to pay cash, to keep cash alive because blah 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 blah." And I was like, okay. Like, but I mean, this whole doing away with cash thing, I mean, that is going to cause problems, I think. Certainly crime, you know, there are people out there that are sat in doorways begging for money and whatnot, and then like all of a sudden no longer you can be given cash that you can go and spend on whatever it may be, you know, Skittles, fucking chocolate, or you know, whatever. So these people that now are out begging in doorways, what are they going to do for cash? What are they going to do to get their basically hard drugs?
Well, I tell you what I've seen in central London, a lot of buskers, and this will probably start happening with beggars too. A lot of buskers have like one of those portable
machines,
card readers.
Yeah.
It's like what you see with beggars, or the beggars will just have a piece of card saying, "Please support me on Patreon" or something like that. You know?
yeah, fucking maybe. I mean, but I mean, with buskers, and they're probably doing that, and maybe it does work for them, but I cannot really see, you know, got any spare change? It wouldn't be got any spare change, would it? It would be like, what would you even say? I mean, got any spare change wouldn't be a thing anymore, would it?
Yeah.
Or it could be like, you know, say 5 generations from now when people are begging and they're going, got any spare change? And they don't even know what it means. And then someone goes, do you know what's got any spare change?
You got to swipe, man. You got to swipe.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it with my kids. I mean, obviously I'm a generation away from them. That's why they're my children. Don't need to explain that to anybody. But he's like, if I go out with my wallet, I'm stuffed. But I've seen them, they go out without their wallet. Go, oh, it's okay. I've got my phone, and they just use Apple Pay or whatever, on their phone.
I mean, I remember the 80s and the early 90s. I used to go out a lot without my wallet, just pocket full of change, your cash. That's it.
Yeah, you could get a beer for 2p back then, couldn't you? So...
yeah.
Oh, 6 and 2 pence. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Grab a bone horn and grab it from the fucking barrel yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm being serious.
Matt's talking about the day when you could get a penny sweet, but you get 4 for a penny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, that. But I mean, no, Christ. I mean, even when I was 18,
penny.
When I was 18, going to the pubs, I used to just go to the pub without my wallet, just fucking pocket with some cash, stuffed in my back pocket. You know, good 10, 20 quid.
And you never bought a fucking round.
No, of course I didn't.
I get people that come in and they go, okay, yeah. And this one, I had one last week actually. He didn't come back to pay, and he ought to because I'm getting a bit wound up now. But doesn't happen very often. But we don't take card because we're all self-employed in the shop I work. So, like, we don't take card because it just complicates things. It's cash only. So you get people that come in. And it's like I'm in an ASDA complex, so therefore, like, there's cash points, so you can send people to cash points. But the amount of people that come out with no cash, no card, and they just go, "I've just got my phone." I'm like, well, yeah, okay, take your SIM card out, give me a fucking PIN number, and bring the fucking charger in tomorrow.
I've got to be honest.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you showing me your phone for? That's not cash. Or you giving me a phone for a haircut?
I've got to be honest with you. I'm one of those people. I very rarely pay cash anymore, just because it's just more convenient. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it's gone. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that, you know, that's just how it's gone because I mean, you remember the day back in the day when your first cards first started, you know, when you had to they had to put that thing across, you put it in that card machine, you remember? The crinkly bit of paper, you remember? And then you had to sign it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, some of those times, like, you had to pay a charge for using a card.
That's
but
right.
now it's almost going the opposite direction. You don't cost you anything to use your card, and they'll probably have to charge you to use cash.
The thing is, though, Monkey's not talking about, you know, your little trip to Tesco Extra.
Oh no, he's not. I know he's not.
You know, you can talk about if you're going to go somewhere like going to get your hair cut, you're going to go down to the local chip shop or something. You have cash because you know those kind of establishments don't use cards. You just know it.
No, but here's the thing, though. Where I live, I'm not being funny, but like the chip shops and all the rest of it, even the hairdressers and all the rest of it, even the cab drivers now, they've all got card machines, all of them. I'm telling you, I haven't used cash for anything probably for months now. I'm not kidding.
I bet you live in one of those areas where you don't even have to put a £1 deposit into the supermarket trolley.
Well, no, you have to do that.
You know,
there's that. Yeah, but
then, you know what?
Then you don't even need a £1 coin. You've got like a little trolley token you put on your keychain.
Yeah,
that's what you pay your hairdresser.
People like you that's going to kill cash.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. I'm sorry. I'm going to kill cash. I'm sorry, but it's just I'm not, like I said. I'm not saying it's right, Monkey. I'm just saying that it's just convenient and that's the way it's gone. I'm not the cause of it. You know,
let's turn our attention here now a little bit. We're coming up on the.
Say hello to Purple.
Yeah, Purple. How's it going?
Okay.
Get in there.
Orange.
We call you Purple, but your name is Orange. Tra la 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 la.
Okay.
Orange is my last name.
Yeah. So, what we're going to transition in here to is the idiot of the week, and I'm going to hit the little stinger so we get our little ha-ha moment and whatnot, and then Loki's going to give us an intro to what this first video really is.
Well, hello everybody. Guess what? We have an idiot of the week, an amazing idiot of the week, an exceptional idiot of the week.
Shit. Here, sorry. Okay, go ahead. It just wouldn't pause. Fucking thing.
So what we have here is a flat earther, no surprise, that is willfully and intentionally mentally manipulating his daughter and is proudly displaying it all over the fucking internet. Yeah. That kind of idiot. So,
the kind of video that fucking winds me up then.
Oh, dude, I spent it took me days to calm down enough to where when I released a video, it wasn't just 10 minutes of cussing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a guy. This is a guy who has taught his daughter, and she's a lovely kid you're about to see, but he has taught her flat earth to the point where she's standing up and giving a presentation on the subject.
Right,
I shit you not.
That's wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
put a one in the chat if you think that's fucking child abuse.
It is. So, call out pause when you need to here, fellow babies. I'm going to start the play here, and we'll just see where we end up. Let me make sure I got the monitor back to you guys all nice and up. Okay, here we go.
And let's be clear, Dick. We're not debunking the information in this video.
No, this is not about debunking flat earth. This is about whether or not teaching them this kind of indoctrinated bullshit is literally child abuse. This is what we're going for here. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Hi, my name is Aimee Hogan and I'm 8 years old and I'm going to be teaching you about flat earth. So first we're going to start off with gravity. Gravity is a theory, not a fact. Mass attracting mass never been proven properly. This happened in 1666. An apple fell on Isaac Newton's head. It must have been a big apple for him to believe in gravity. Gravity is fake because density and EMF are making things drop, not gravity. There is iodine salt in this cup and no iodine salt in the other cup. There is 2 cups of water with an egg. One with iodine salt, one with no iodine salt. This one has iodine salt and it has electricity because the electricity is pushing the egg up. On the other one, it has no electricity in it because the egg is denser than the water. Density and surrounding medium.
Okay. I have to pause there. The egg and the density thing. Loki, M2M, and DK. We've seen this a few times, right? It goes back to Riley, pretty much.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, right.
The whole whiteboard is a who's who of all of these people.
Do you believe? Does anybody here believe she understands anything she just said, or do you believe that she's been taught how to deliver the information as a presenter?
No, it's just a
even
rehearsed
better.
presentation.
No,
Yeah.
it's right, and this is going to go on to my thoughts on this in a little while. I'm not going to say just yet, but absolutely not. This is, I mean, if you listen to it, it's bang word for word, right out of a Flat Earth script.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Oh, well, I pulled a transcript of this video, and some of the phrasing she uses is, it's word for word what we hear.
Yeah, I've done the same thing, pretty much the same thing as you, Loki.
She doesn't
Exactly.
understand these things she's even talking about. She wouldn't at this
I know.
age.
Can I make this horribly worse by informing you all that this poor girl is homeschooled?
Yeah, I knew that too. Yeah. Not
Well, I
surprised.
thought that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's pretty.
This should be, and not that part of my friends, but it should be fucking illegal. What's happening there? If people are homeschooling, right, they should be regularly fucking checked to make sure that this kind of shit isn't happening.
Well, in the UK, they are.
Yeah, I know,
You-
but like
you
they're
can't-
not
you-
everywhere, are they?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know in the States, you can more or less just decide that you're going to homeschool your kids.
Yeah, and teach them
but
fucking
in the UK
whatever.
In the UK, you can, but it's not so easy to actually do.
No,
but
I
you
know
are
they
checked.
get to have, I know
Hang on,
they
let me
do
finish.
have-
Let me finish. You have to actually stick to a particular curriculum,
That's right.
and you
I
have to prove
was
that you'll
about to
go.
say.
Yeah, and you have to because again, education between certain ages up to the age of 16 is a legal requirement, and it also a legal requirement that has to be on the curriculum. But again, in the States, I know it's different.
Yeah, and this what we're seeing here is just like, it's taken way too far, and it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. I mean, if you want to fucking believe all that bollocks, but come on, like, surely, I mean, I can't believe that some of these people really do believe it. You know, I think a lot of them is just part about being part of the cult and being able to say the government's lying. I think deep down, they can't all believe the Earth is flat, right? Therefore, you know, you certainly should be passing this shit on.
Stick to what we're talking about, Monkey, if you can.
DK.
Yeah, I mean, Hobby Time said in the chat that this is too polished for a kid. Well, the reasons why it's polished is because Daddy made her do it over and over and over and over, rehearsed it over and over and over till she got it right.
Yeah, and he's almost he's done it for his own benefit, really.
That's actually a point that I made in my my curse-filled tirade video, was that, yeah, go through it over and over and over again to get it right and practice it. And I can pretty much, as a parent of someone, of a daughter her age, essentially, that whole, there you go, good job, awesome. Hey, you want a cookie?
Oh,
hey,
dude.
Okay, now.
As parents, we all know that's kind of how it went.
I mean, dude, I am not mostly, but 3/4 single-handedly raising. Does that make sense? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
A kid on the autism spectrum. So I know that look on the face of and whatnot, and triumph and success and so on, and she has seen a lot of those in the way that she has been taught to deliver this.
Yeah,
definitely. And she's getting it for all the wrong reasons. She's not getting it for learning. She's getting it for being a tool for his own bullshit.
Exactly what I meant when I said he's doing this for himself. Exactly what I meant, you know.
Can we get Orange? Orange's got a hand up.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I just about forgot what I was going to say here.
Oh, sorry. I didn't have my screen set up so I could see hands. I do now. I had a 4-screen setup, but now I have 3 screens. One is out of commission. So my window management is all screwed up. I'm trying my best here.
On the homeschooling thing, I don't know. Again, in the U.S., everything varies so much from state to state. But in a couple of states, at least that I'm aware of, they do. For the kids that are homeschooled, they still have to take standardized tests at least once or twice a year to make sure that they're keeping up to grade level.
Yeah, my son does as well. I homeschool my son as well, but it's not a free pass to teach him whatever the hell I want. It's a guided thing where we are watched over to make sure the child is at the right level. And I know this because my kid's on the spectrum and he's not at the level his age is. So I damn well know they watch out. All right. You know,
I tell you what, I mean, massive respect to any parent that does decide to homeschool their child, because, you know, I have to, and like I sent them to school. Well, I couldn't imagine taking on that task, you know, so you know, I have a huge respect for parents that take on that task and obviously do it correctly. But when you've got someone almost being paraded like this, or young girl here,
absolutely paraded.
It's just not homeschooling at all.
No.
Well, to be fair, we don't actually know what his homeschooling is like. Well, we're making assumptions from this.
Well, I think there's assumptions, though. There's 2.5 minutes left in the video. Let's just let her do a bit more, and then we can, you know.
Dick, hold on. Commander 401, she's had a hand up for for a while. So,
yeah, Commander. Yeah, go ahead. See, I didn't even see it in my Google. Okay, I'm going to refresh it. Commander, go ahead.
He should be arrested, and this is why homeschooling is somewhat controversial, because some people purposely homeschool to avoid things like science or
evolution.
Yeah, evolution or the shape of the earth.
Yeah.
This is really scary stuff. I will say that I also have an opinion that is, you know, teaching children this kind of thing about religion and stuff is somewhat indoctrination as well, because, you know, but anyway, that's a different argument. We're not going to go into that because holy shit, that's can of worms too. I'm going to play this a bit more. Try not to pause me too quick because we don't want to stay on this all night, but let's, here we go.
EMF, that stands for electromagnetic frequency. If gravity can't be proven and Earth is 70% water, we know water stays level, then 70% of Earth is level. Now we are going to move on to the globe and our flat Earth. So say there's a boat just cruising on the bottom of the Earth. It would fall into space, and space is fake. If space was real, stars would have parallax, but they don't. So it would just fall into space. And this is for anything that can't go upside down. If people believe that the Earth is round, people don't walk upside down. Same with a boat. It doesn't sail upside down. They think this is true on that. Well, no, it is not. This is our true flat Earth. And the thing around it is the firmament. I'm going to tell you how the firmament is real. The firmament is real because air pressure has to be contained, just like in a tire. Now we are going to move on to seasons and the sun. The spinning ball globe believers say that the sun is 93 million miles.
She doesn't even know what she's saying.
I know.
Parallel race for the seasons.
This is literally a flat earther meme.
Yeah, here she was just about to do parallel sun rays. There's no way she knows what she's saying. No way.
Yeah, can I just say something, right? She is an amazing young girl. You know, like she's so concise. She's obviously rehearsed what she's saying. She's
actually
really
intelligent.
doing really, really well. You know, it's just unfortunate that she is parroting this nonsense.
Yeah, she's reciting without any comprehension.
Exactly, yeah.
I think she's too smart to take this much farther into her schooling and still think she's saying anything with any merit.
But she's homeschooled, and I have a feeling that she's homeschooled to the point where, you know, the parents are doing some BS to get around having to sure that she's accredited year after year.
Well, I know Dan Brett does. His kid's homeschooled, and I know he teaches them flat earth shit.
Wow.
Matt's got his hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Lokifish first posted this, and I could sort of see straight away what it was, and I thought, right, okay, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I played the video, and I was kind of surprised by my own kind of feelings towards it, and actually, I didn't feel disgusted. I'm sorry that it might go against the grain of what everybody else feels, but I didn't get that kind of reaction. The only kind of reaction I had was kind of sad, really. It's kind of like, well, you know, they're having to resort to this kind of thing to actually, teach kids flat earth to begin with. Secondly, to put your child on YouTube to actually have to do that and to repeat word for word, you know, the flat earth script. And that's how I really felt about it. It's just sad. And I think it's because I'm not surprised that this is actually going on. And in fact, I'm pretty sure it's going on more than we realize.
Probably.
You know, putting aside, you know, putting your child on YouTube, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of flat earthers that are teaching their children flat earth, and they're telling telling them to ignore the science, you know. And I think my anger part, because this has been going on for a while, and we've already kind of seen it to some extent, haven't we? We've already seen about, you know, using kids and all that kind of stuff. I've already got past that anger part that Lokifish is going through. I've got past that, and and now I'm not disgusted. I'm just sad. And also another thing as well. Yeah, go on.
Well, it is that way. I want to get us to the point where we can at least finish the video here, and we only have so long for the segment. Deeper. Yeah, but hold on. There's a deeper dive into this topic coming up. This is a segment, right? We can't go too deep here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate what you're saying, but the reason why I'm saying it now is that what's the point of playing the rest of the video? Because this is all stuff that we've heard before. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, we know what she's saying. We know we could probably almost guess what she's going to say next.
Yeah, we can as flat earth debunkers, but not everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, but not everybody. But does everybody need to hear everything that she needs to say? We've already got an idea of what's going on here, haven't we? Right? I'm just trying to make a point here. That's what I'm trying to get at.
You're making the wrong point, Matt. Sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead. That's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just trying to make a point, but go ahead.
we do is use your God-given eyes to see we have crepuscular rays from the sun. Crepuscular rays proves we have a local sun. That proves everything about seasons and the sun. Now we are going to move on to a sun, moon, and earth depiction. The sun is shining on the moon and the moon is shining on the earth. Why is it not shining its temperature on earth? Well, me and my dad did an experiment one night on a full moon, and we used a laser thermometer to check the moon's light and its shadow. The moon's light was colder than its shadow, so that proves the light is colder than its shadow, and proves that the moon has its own light. The sun is not reflecting its light on the moon. The moon has its own light. Thank you for watching my Flat Earth presentation. I hope you guys liked it. And Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Just remember, the truth does not fear investigation. Thank you for watching.
You hear that whole little the Christian ending?
Yeah.
That is
Any
very
surprise it was religious, yeah.
Yeah, that's very common in Flat Earth. So for for everybody watching, that's how Flat Earthers are now delivering their content, and what they're doing. Also, I don't think we made this very clear there. They're marking this content as for kids when they upload the video on YouTube, and as such, even though it's labeled Flat Earth, it doesn't get the disclaimer about Flat Earth being an outdated view, blah, blah, that they put under other videos because it's in YouTube Kids now.
Just a quick point, and it's I'm not too sure of the relevancy of it, but if you look at the environment that was filmed in, that's not a home environment. That actually, I know you do homeschooling, and then you will go to like some kind of community center sometime, a couple of times a week, possibly, to actually, meet other homeschoolers. But that actually looked like a school. It's very, very small, but a school environment.
No, I didn't think so.
With a projector screen on the wall and the the
whiteboard and
tiny
everything.
boxes. Yeah, there was just something very odd about that.
Well, the
To me,
tiny
it looks
boxes is
very
a common
ghetto.
storage system.
Do you know what? Right, the fact that they're targeting children like this. I mean, although it's shocking, I ain't surprised. I mean, like, we've all heard these rumors about fucking brain dead warrior pretending to be a child, like on TikTok, to target children and obviously try and brainwash them with this absolute bullshit. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, like, it's just another desperate angle to try and, like, I mean, it almost seems pointless, but it is a desperate fucking angle to continue spreading their bollocks. But I'm gonna leave it there because I only popped in to say hello. I've got work early in the morning. I'm gonna wish you all good night and have fun, guys.
Good
Right,
night,
Monkey, take it
Monkey.
easy.
Nice
Monkey.
night.
Later.
See you soon.
Commander?
Commander's very, very patient. He kept his flipper up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
I just want to get this out here. Yeah, while this video is disturbing, upsetting for various reasons, what is more upsetting is how fast this video has spread. This is essentially Flat Earth's latest viral video.
Yeah, when
Well,
you
saw a couple Flat Earthers talking about it, like heroically, of course.
yeah, literally within after you posted it, Lokifish, I was on Discord literally an hour later, and they were talking about it on at least two of the Flat Earth Discord channels that I was at, and actually several people over a period of time had posted it. It had gone round so fast.
Matt, David Weiss, the guy who did the Flat Earth Sun and Moon app for the smartphones, He promoted this as the video of the day on that damn app.
God, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've personally tracked, I lost count after 1,000 shares, and that was just off of one post of this video. And then with David Weiss's app, you're looking at a viewer base of 10 to 20,000 people. So, yeah, it's not small.
That's the sad part of it, that, you know, they've had to actually get, what, how old is she? 8, 9, 10 years age, something like that? Did I get a guess? 8? Yeah, they've had to get an 8-year-old to actually go on YouTube to talk about something that they should be talking about themselves and promoting themselves. They had to use a child in order to do that. But like you said, it's just incredibly sad.
They're using the child as a subliminal way of saying, this is so simple, even a child can get it.
Right.
Well, no, they're also doing it because it makes them untouchable.
And it also can bring in other children and indoctrinate them, which is what they argue we have been by believing reality. It's such an unbelievable joke. They are actively doing what they accuse us of doing to them. Like, I need another beer. I can't even fucking get my head around the stupidity of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if they put all that much thought into it, as just the fact that cute kids tend to go viral. You know, it doesn't even really matter what they're talking about. Cute kids tend to get a lot of shares.
Yeah. And we're gonna see more of this now. I think we're gonna see.
Well, this is the thing. I was just thinking, Matt, that this is a scary future for this little girl now, because Daddy's going to say, "Oh, look how popular your video was." Yeah, look how popular this video was. Let's do some more. Are we seeing the Greta Thunberg of Flat Earth?
Oh no!
Yeah,
fucking nailed it, DK.
No.
Yeah, I think you could be right. Yeah, I think.
And if she realizes it's bullshit, she's gonna hate her dad forever.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She'll be like, what's her name? That chick that does all the TV stuff about leaving Scientology. That'll be her.
Aimee.
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully you should push him over the edge.
Yeah, Greta Flatberg, Icarus.
Greta Thornderp.
That's funny. Graham Price, we had a shill member shout there. Graham Price, member for 27 months. That's a number that's growing in size. Thanks, Graham. 27 months, 2 trips round the sun and more. Oh, good shout, too. I love it. Yeah. The first factual thing we've heard since Idiot of the Week. Jesus. So, you know, this is one of those things where YouTube now has the ability to report a video for misinformation. Right. So when, you know, it took a long time for that to be a reality, but it's true now. So, you know, if you happen to find this person's video now, this video here of the girl, he has set it to private. It's no longer there. But it's been shared on other platforms enough that, you know, it still did what he wanted it to do. Right. Yep. But, which is sad. It's very sad. And I feel so, I can only imagine what's going to happen when this chick is old enough to figure out what's going out. The hatred for the parental units in her life, and the wake up call, and the opportunities missed as a child growing up and being that, what the fuck you talking about, kid? You know, oh, it's going to be bad. Yeah. So, you know, feel free to report. Now, if I was to give you this guy's channel link right now and you all went over and reported, YouTube can tell you came from our channel to his and reported him en masse. And that gets us to fall of the bullying and social harassment rules of YouTube. I shit you not, it would get us in trouble. So what we're going to do is, did I even sneak it into the description? Maybe it's in there. I don't know. But, we will drop it in our Discord after the show as well, so you can go over and make your opinions felt.
Are you able to verbally, if you say verbally what the channel name is?
No, because that's not how it works. It's just that people are watching this one and then they go directly to another video and then report.
Yeah.
Now, what you want to do is go to Fight the Flat Earth channel and watch one of his videos, and then go to the other video, then Fight the Flat Earth.
That's at FTFE. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, Craig.
Yeah, just fucking with you, dude.
Well, I mean, there's no harm in saying verbally what it is, and then after the show, once the show's over and you've come out of that, then maybe go to the channel that we've just named.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that way you're not, there's no linkage, is there? So.
Yeah, because you can't go from one. It's not the link so much; it's the traffic. If somebody leaves our channel and goes right to theirs and does it, they can tell. Right? That's how it works, and that's why I say.
And the name of the channel was actually in the title of the show tonight. So,
we tagged them, right? It's right there. Kev and Bob.
Kevin Bacon? What's he doing?
Yeah. Seems to be having a hard time if that's his channel, I tell you.
I thought it was fucking it.flatearth.shit.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit the button. We're going to wrap into the week. There, it's done. Coming up,
look forward to that name coming back, though, Dick.
Oh, I'm sure. But coming up, Loki is hooking up with Claire and Aimee, I think, or, we might be planning a special. We got some Shills specials and whatnot coming up. But this whole idea of indoctrinating children with this kind of stuff, and not just Flat Earth, is going to be looked at in a much more in-depth level. Loki's pretty much taking the run on this and gearing it up for us. So it's coming soon. On that note, DK, I think we were going to discuss a little bit about EVs.
Yeah, again, is this another sampler? Because I think you might want to go in more depth on this in the future.
EVs? We're into talking about Pokemon now?
I don't even know how that fits together.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah. But electric vehicles are a very polarizing topic in certain ways, right? So, DK, where do you want to start?
Well, I think the EV bubble is starting to burst. I think it's starting to burst, and people are starting to realize they're not that great. They're pretty shit. They're expensive, and then they're not saving any fucking planet. Well, not this planet anyway.
If you could get 24,000 Canadian or whatever, small, nice little EV for city runabout, if you're somebody who doesn't leave the city much, and the battery was designed so it's not like a $12,000 replacement, but it could actually be serviced and whatnot. There's an argument that that's a really good thing, but in Canada,
and assuming you have a garage to plug it in at night.
That's the other side of it, right?
For people who live in apartments, they don't work really well.
No, if you have fancy underground parking and stalls and everything, the building at the expense of $240 a month in rent increase could install chargers for you, but otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah, I think there's been a misconception. I think what's happened is that they've gone from basically being really terrible to not very good. So people have kind of seen it as kind of like, oh, it's improved. That must be really good. Well, no, not really. They're not. I'm not. I think they're terrible anymore. They're just not very good at the moment, and they're not going to be very good for a while.
Tesla made them sexy because they made them fast and futuristic, but that doesn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that doesn't cure a lot of the things like myself. I live in the interior of British Columbia. Every couple of months, we drive out to Vancouver. I can't get there in any EV without having to pull over and stop and charge and stuff. And modern society is built so I can just pull over and gas up, go to the bathroom and go. right?
Well, true about Tesla making it sexier. They have. You're absolutely right. But one thing they have done, they have improved the actual battery life. There's no doubt about that. They can go a lot further and they can go a lot faster than we do. But still, it's still not good enough. I think that's part of the problem.
But DK, there's more to it than just that, isn't there? Let's get Purple Rhymes with Orange in, and then we'll go through some of the bullet points we have stashed away here.
Yeah, well, I think the other thing is a lot of people were buying them because they think it's going to, help save the planet and all this. And the information's really coming out that, just because it's electric doesn't mean that it's completely green.
That's right.
The power still has to be produced by something. And even if it's being produced by wind and solar, they're still becoming aware of the economic damage done by mining the materials to make the batteries. Exactly.
Lithium is one of the big ones. It's unbelievably nasty.
But here's the thing about that. But don't forget what you got to bear in mind is that, I totally agree that in terms of pollutants and all the rest of it, it's not helping at all because of lithium and the plastics they have to use and all the rest of it. And, and also it's still the majority, particularly in this country, is that the power is still generated by coal fire, right? There's all that, they get that. But the thing is that what the main purpose of it is less reliance on fossil fuels, because cars, no doubt about it, are heavily reliant on fossil fuels, and they are the biggest users of fossil fuels. Well, second perhaps to coal-fired power stations. But that's the main thing you need to be concentrating on. It's not just sort of like in terms of pollution, saving the planet, yada yada, blah blah blah. But we do need to, because we know fossil fuels in this planet is not infinite. We do know at some point it's going to run out, and we need to find ways to actually do it.
Yeah, but for me, the idea of the power being a pollutant that powers the vehicle is a non-starter, because in British Columbia, Canada, it's hydropower. It just doesn't matter. It's not it's not a universal argument to all EVs, whereas like the mining and stuff is. But if you're charging an EV off a coal-fired electrical source, that's just not clean. There's no way around it.
Yeah. There's a lot of issues that need to be addressed, particularly with the lithium mining. That without a shadow of a doubt, that needs to be addressed.
Let's turn to DK, because I know the power grid is a big essential what the fuck in this one, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, which part of the do you want to talk about? Because most American domestic or what you call suburbs or whatever, they just do not have the infrastructure in power supply to supply all the homes with electric vehicles.
Not even close. In my neighborhood, if every single person plugged in an EV, I'm in a townhouse complex. If every single person in this townhouse complex plugged in an EV to charge overnight, the whole place would just go pop, and we'd be in the dark. There's no fucking way.
Well,
not to mention the fact that everybody's got rolling blackouts, and so you won't be, your car won't be charged up in the morning.
Yeah,
I was going to say we're already having that problem. Without the electric vehicles. Just in the summer, too many people running air conditioners at the same time is, making transformers explode and bringing the grid down.
Yeah, and you get the rolling brownouts where if you still have incandescent light bulbs, they take on a tiny yellow tinge because they've lowered the electricity to your dwelling a tiny bit, right, to balance the load.
Yeah, and you got a new fad here in the States where people are just drive-by shooting like power substations and shit like that just to be annoying, I guess.
Oh, that's helpful. Yeah.
That's actually related to those shitheads who want to overthrow everything. But that's not the discussion here.
Yeah. I just think governments have actually pushed EV cars around the world too hard, too soon. I think there needs to be a lot more research into developing better ideas of batteries. What else can we actually use apart from lithium?
Well,
what else can
we've got solid state battery technology coming and stuff, and that's all fine and good. But I do believe you also have to look at the human race and its pure nature. Most of the, quote unquote, first world societies are based around personalized transportation that can be fueled up and back on the go in no time. And to me, I think hydrogen fuel cells were the answer here. Because it's still an electric car, and all the benefits of that instant torque and that beautiful, smooth, quiet ride and all that. It's just not a huge, heavy battery pack that is horrific on the environment. And I know I've heard people say, oh, but storage, mobile, and so on, because it's a pressurized gas. I think in the UK, you guys call it LPG. We call it propane. But we've had pressurized gas fueled cars for a long time already. I'm not sure that's a valid argument.
I got a Volkswagen Beetle that runs on propane.
My brother has a Chevy Suburban. That is a dual fuel. It's got a tank in the back that he can run it on gasoline or propane.
Yeah. And of course, also because, we've got, I'm not saying it's going to happen very soon, but, nuclear fusion. There's all kinds of possibilities if they can actually miniaturize that. All kinds of possibilities.
That's like 30 years away.
No, more than that probably. But I'm just totally speaking aloud. Is like there's all kinds of different ways how it could happen.
A couple of people in the chat were saying, but hydrogen storage is an issue. LP is better. Sure. But, the engineering and whatnot we had back in the day to be able to put pressurized propane or whatever into a container, they figured it out. And I do believe if the market needed to, they could. But right now, with the government targets and everything going on with the mandated, you must do this within your automotive fleet emissions and stuff, battery is the easy way for the companies to do it. And that's what's going on right now.
And we should also look at these, like the unfair kind of forcing this on the consumer, because, to buy...
I know.
About this with Dick. You can buy a Fiat 500, which is, a very small car, very economical, doesn't use a lot of fuel. You can buy one of those for £15,000 new. To get the EV equivalent is £25,000.
Yeah.
And when you actually do the math, the EV will practically never pay for itself in all the years that you own it.
And the regular Fiat, when the gas tank is, slightly old and faulty, can be replaced for maybe like, $1,000 at a garage tops if it's a Fiat dealer and they're really feeling nasty. Whereas, the battery pack of a Tesla Model 3 to be replaced is horrific. And dealing with that battery pack that's useless now, even though it's only a few cells in the pack that are actually bad, means that some guy who knows how to fix it has to overpay at auction to get it, repair it, and now sell it on the used market to somebody who then again can, handle the mechanicals of installing it in the vehicle so you can extend the life of your electric car. Why is that so hard? Right? That's what that Lewis Rossman's always talking about, right to repair. These battery packs, sure, it might be an extra 20 pounds in weight or whatever, but they should be designed so they're way easier to service. You can't have this massive, huge chunk of the backbone of your vehicle dead because 3% of it doesn't work properly. That's not good.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could slide them out like your old laptop batteries. Well, you don't even get that anymore. Your laptop batteries are now like, they're soldered onto the fucking motherboard.
But the battery packs in these cars are all cooled and everything because of, when they really put out energy, they heat up and yada, yada. But even still, they could be built in a more cellular sort of structure. So when they go bad, there's an easier repair. They just don't give a fuck to engineer it. That is the truth.
And what is the life expectancy of a EV?
5 years.
car? I mean, yeah. Are we going to ever see? Are we ever going to see like an EV classic car show? No, they'll just be dragged on trailers. And
they'll all be converted to Chevy LS V8s by people like Cletus McFarland and shit.
Oh, it's sacrilege! What are you doing to that car? Yeah.
Well, one of the things here is the environmental push for EVs, but nobody thought about exactly how electric vehicles should be approached. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Hybrid electric, diesel electric locomotives have been around for decades, and they work real well. Why didn't we move to hybrid first? Then once the battery technology got to where we could fully move over to EV, we eventually evolved into EV using better battery density, whatever, fix all this stuff,
Nice, cool, yeah.
Now it's just like, no, we're just going to skip the smart step that works now to jump to this other step that we don't have all the bugs worked out yet.
If you go to the Ford, I went onto the Ford website the other night just to have a look, see what's going on there. All their vehicles are at least hybrid. You can get a hybrid, or there are a few electrics. Obviously, there are no pure petrol or diesel engines anymore. So the hybrid route is there. I'm still not entirely sure that's going to work, but it's certainly the better option.
There was a couple people in the chat that were like, come on, Dawson, 5 years for an EV battery. Okay, I was being a bit funny, but there are so many documented cases of EV batteries taking a big hit in range in like 8 or 9 years. And in 8 or 9 years with a gasoline engine with regular maintenance and whatnot, and I mean a modern fucking high efficiency engine or whatever, I'm not going to take that kind of hit. And I'm not going to take that kind of hit on the resale value. An EV with a tired battery is worth fuck all. And proof in the pudding is how many used Toyota Priuses out there with tired dead batteries there are, because you end up with like this 1.6 liter or whatever anemic little engine dragging this fucking ugly car with a heavy battery pack and stuff that's barely helping, right? It's no longer efficient. And
the thing is here, Dick, there's most people in the world do not buy brand new cars. We just simply can't afford them.
That's
we
right.
Buy second-hand cars.
Yeah.
And I think my car was about 8 years old when I bought it. Toyota Land Cruiser Amazon. Thank you. I'm burning up the planet, and I'm enjoying doing it. But the thing is, an 8-year-old EV, would you really want to buy that? But obviously, a car with like 100,000 miles on it, this just barely broken in. An EV with 100,000 miles on it, it's probably fucked.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned a car that was less than 10 years old when I got it.
Hell no.
And I don't like the idea of this always connected car where I get in it one day and the menus have slightly changed because there's a new interface update. For the love of God, fuck off. These touchscreens have already ruined muscle memory to the point where I can't just reach over and control my climate without taking my eyes off the road. I have to look, right? Because there's no tactile interface anymore. And now you change it as if it's a goddamn fling of the month from Windows. Fuck, get out of the way. Or one day you wake up and this item has been removed because blah, blah, blah. What? No, I bought the car. Stop. It's mine.
Goes in line with those pay-as-you-go heated seats.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's where I was going.
Well, I've got a first-generation iPad. It still works. It still comes on. The screen works. It's all perfectly fine. It doesn't work because it can't fucking connect to anything anymore because everything's moved on. The iPad itself is not upgradable to the latest iOS or wherever. So it's a perfectly usable system, but it's dead. It's dead to the world. And we might see this in future cars too, who are, all this kind of like, screen pad technology.
All these future cars with this pad technology are going to die the way of the dodo board without updates, because only the core functions of the car will still work. Think about it. It's basically a smart TV in your car. So all of the fancy functions will no longer be supported because the apps can't run, and, YouTube and blah, blah, and all that stuff. I mean, it's... don't you just simply need gauges to know how fast you're going and how full the charge or fuel tank is and stuff? All this stuff to me is a way of increasing the price of the car without actually doing anything for us. Like, you did safety. We have.
Sorry, go on.
Well, they did safety. We have airbags, side impact, blah, blah, yada, yada. It's to the point where safety can no longer be a selling point. And engineering wise, like the suspension they give us in the car and, and so on is what we're going to get. It's the same in the electric cars, right? So there's no more selling points. So it's all this tech bullshit that will die. Whereas,
Come on. Sorry.
No, but the old school cars with just regular gauges and buttons, they can be fixed. The modern screen stuff, like, it will just simply die. If you can't get a screen for your McLaren MP4-12C because they no longer make that size and shape and resolution, well, you just can't get one. Fuck you.
Yeah. So before we get to Matt, I just want to finish up on what you were saying. One of the reasons they are switching over to these like touchscreen things and removing all the knobs and buttons and everything is actually because it's cheaper. They're now fitting electronic parking brakes because it's cheaper, whereas it's dangerous and it doesn't fucking work.
And you can't drift them.
No. Well, the thing, I think the solution is to have an EV, but go back to proper dials, proper buttons, and stuff like that, and maybe things will last into the future. But anyway, that was my thought. Matt, sorry to hold you up.
That's all right, no problem. I mean, I'm trying to get a sense of where you guys are actually coming from, right? The way I'm coming from is that I think EV cars are a good idea in principle. Are they being pushed too hard, too soon, too early? Yeah, I think they are. And also I agree with what Lokifish said as well, is perhaps we should have invested more in hybrids and then, tried to, develop technology, so particularly battery technology, and find other sources and different ways to actually produce power. I mean, so where you guys come from?
M2M, you said it right there with battery. The reliance on massive battery packs is the problem right now, and we needed the hybrid solution of regenerative braking and whatnot, and like F1 with the generator on the turbo and stuff to get that back and whatnot. That's great technology. And I really like what some of the automotive people are doing with, like, very small displacement engines that are giving us over 200 horsepower and stuff. I love that. And we're getting huge miles per gallon ratings, or, kilometers per 100 or whatever you do. But I do believe that the Tesla model of massive chargeable battery packs really should have been small battery packs for city commuters and more efficient engines until we had a better fuel source. This whole, the lithium, the mining, the cobalt and whatnot, it's ugly. The massive battery pack electric vehicles was wrong.
Am I wrong? Isn't there a lot of lithium in Ukraine?
So you're not totally against EV cars as such.
No, I love the electric motor and stuff, and the electric propulsion. I love it. It makes a car amazing, especially as like a so-called petrol head or gearhead in North America, right? I love auto racing and stuff. And electric propulsion is wicked torque out of the corner. And if you've got like an electric motor that can also gives horsepower, you've got top speed. But with the hybrid thing, you can still have that horsepower but I love all what it brings to the table. I just don't like 2 tons of battery pack that are environmentally nasty and horrible and don't last long enough. I think that was the wrong step.
And what about you, DKG?
They're making EVs. They're cheap. They keep breaking. They keep falling apart. They're so unreliable.
But overall, though, DKG, do you think? Overall, though, I mean, do you think EV cars are a bad idea overall, or do you think it's just no? Okay,
of course not. I think EV cars are a great idea. No, I've got no problem against them. It's the fact is they're being pushed on us. The manufacturers are having to follow.
The world isn't ready.
Government guidelines.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like we say that we're not saving the planet by using them because we're still burning shit tons of fossil fuels to charge the fuckers up. They don't work. They in the cold snap. You're fucked because your EV will not get the range. You have to use the battery to heat your car up, whereas on a petrol or diesel car, you got that heat for free.
And let's not even talk about towing in a cold environment. It's over.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Well, towing in an ambient environment is still shit on an EV.
It's something I pointed out about Teslas in particular. Is they were designed by people in California who have probably never been anywhere that the temperature gets below freezing. Just everything about them is horrible in cold weather.
Yeah.
The plastic they use is so bad that it gets brittle in the cold. And when it's below zero, they have a tendency for the door handles to snap off.
Oh, and the Tesla pop-out door handles up in Canada, yeah, they do great in winter too. Let me tell you the stories. Oh, wow.
And also, all those people that get caught on motorways when the road is blocked, it's snowbound. All your guys in electric vehicles, they're just going to have to switch off because they can't keep the heaters running. They're going to freeze to death. While all your other guys in your diesels, behind them in the queue, they can just keep their engine running and they'll be nice and warm and toasty. I wouldn't be so surprised if all those diesel, drivers, they open the doors up to all the EV drivers to come in and keep warm. These people are going to fucking die.
Yeah, I agree. Who else is on the list there? M2M's taking us around the table, so it's your call here.
No, it wasn't. No, what? Not really, but we can do. I mean, I just like Orange. What about you? I mean, do you think overall EVs are a bad idea, or do you think you're just too early, or what are your overall thoughts on it?
Well, again, I think they could be good for, just people who are just commuting in the city. The problem, at least in the US, that we have is that you don't have any way to get between cities. So I think it has to be, part of a bigger solution that the EV cars would be great if we also had inner city rail.
Right.
But I don't see that happening in the US.
Yeah.
But what about you, Loki? What do you think overall then? Bad idea overall, or good idea maybe, but too early? What's your
I think
feeling?
EVs are a great idea. However, it's being pushed too early in the development for power and battery.
Yeah, same. And who else? Commander? You still there, Commander? You're muted.
Commander.
I'll just get mine out of the way. I totally agree, and I just remember how long it took. Not remember, none of us were there, but take note of how long it took cars to get figured out. Just straight up. I mean, once the technology was figured out, powering them still was a long way to go. But
well, come on, Dick, tell him. Well, how did the car industry start?
The car industry. Well, that's
what power did cars use at the beginning?
It was called LeGroin, and it was an early petrol product that was meant to combust inside of an engine. But that's the Carl Benz car. The actual first cars were electric.
Yep.
The hand crank.
You were asked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, go ahead. Yeah.
They were charged by fusion as well.
Yeah.
You were asking me, do I think they're a good idea? Yeah, for small cars, and they should make better batteries before they make you dependent on them. As far as like trucks and commercial vehicles, it's the dumbest idea on the face of the earth. The Tesla Semi, the batteries are so goddamn heavy.
Yeah.
If I was an owner operator, I wouldn't buy one because then I couldn't carry enough stuff.
Well, it's the whole thing with the electric cars too, that they're good for short range hops. If you're trying to go a couple 100 miles, no, electric's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, if you want to charge a large electric truck, then you need to basically have your own substation.
Yep.
And then the faster you charge vehicles, the more you wear down the battery. So it probably wouldn't take long to completely destroy a battery pack to the point where you had to tow your...
That's the thing, Commander. If you get like a normal Tesla, and normal family car, whatever, you're still charging it overnight on the size of their battery. Like you say, if you're charging a truck, what? Yeah, I mean, leaving it for 3 days while it charges up? What the fuck's going to happen there? It's insane.
And it does.
Yeah, you would need.
Sorry, go ahead, Commander.
I forget, but if you assume you need the same amount of energy to move the truck, if you figure out how much, it's got to be some god awful if you wanted to charge it, because of the energy density of basically hydrocarbon fuels is about 10 times better than high explosive, and your battery is about, I think, somewhere about between 30 times to 20 times less efficient than petrochemical fuels. So, God, if you wanted to charge it for an hour, you'd probably need megawatts going into it in a short period of time.
What you and Orange and DKG have been saying actually supports an article that I read a while back. And what they did was, it was kind of like a survey. What they did was they took a cross section, a few different people, all the way from like your housewife, all the way through to like somebody who was traveling around a lot. And right enough, the people that, from the economic point of view, I'm talking about, the people that you like, the housewives and the people that are just traveling within cities, inner cities and stuff, economically, it actually paid. It actually paid them quite well. But for the people that were traveling around, right, it was a nightmare, and it was just not economically. It wasn't working out at all. So yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying about that.
I do have a friend who lives in Chicago who is on her second electric car, and she did drive up here about close to 400-mile trip. So apparently the fast chargers are fairly viable now. She said she had to stop once halfway, and it took about 2.5 hours to charge.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. It's like charging anxiety on trips. But anyway, I think Dick needs to take us all to bed and tuck us in.
Yeah,
give us kisses and
I have discovered that I thought it was going to be a evening where my son was going to be back home early, but he's not, and I consider it one of those nights where maybe we should have some more fun after. So in the live chat, if you want us to do a little after show action over on Shills University, let us know and we'll set something up and drop you a link. Otherwise, we should do a little good night, everybody action. We did a wrap up on the EV topic, but, shill what you will, say what you will, but if you talk too much, it's you I will kill. Charlie Welch, say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody. I don't want to say too much.
Commander 401, what do you got?
Good night, everybody, and check out the pro-Ukrainian video with the Ukrainian Orc Slayer. It's a Ukrainian dragon. Yep.
Yeah, it is awesome. Good call. DKG, somebody who's got to consider a name change.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll change my name. Whatever. Call me Muriel. Okay, I'm going to just a few notes. Just a few notes. Okay, hang on. Let me start.
Chapter 1.
Chapter one. Chapter 1 of my thoughts. Now, fuck it. Night, night, everybody.
What
See you next time.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Just kidding, buddy.
If I knew, I could probably do something about it.
Lokifish, word from the red planet.
Oh my God, I'm still here? Damn. Later.
All right. And M2M, what do you think?
All I've got is don't use your kids for flat earth or anti-flat earth. That's really all I've got. That's it. Done.
Good shout. Purple rhymes with orange. Yes, I know how to say your name right. What do you think?
Yeah, mostly I'll second what MTM said, and it's I'm glad that the internet was just becoming a thing when I was finished raising kids. Because these days, if I had a kid that age, I don't know if I'd even want pictures of them on the internet.
I know. Good shout. Good shout. For me, I want to give a personal little test to Kevin Bobkick, you unholy piece of garbage, teaching your daughter that. We're going to bring out the old Shills honesty meter.
Oh dear.
Oh, what a fail. And of course, that earns him.
Well,
that's a double whammy.
Cancer on fire.
And I know if Amy was here, she would say, you gotta.
We will send the Orc Slayer after you.
Yeah. On that note, I think we're going to say goodnight. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. See you soon.
Good night.
Everybody.
Good night. Kids are not a commodity for pushing your bullshit.
It's over. Go home. Go.